Today's topic is, should capital punishment be reinstated? The question is, in the present society, we witness how adults go to the extent of raping young children. Children do not get the required protection they deserve. What is the reason for this situation? The answer is, the main reason for this is the lack of merit, or kusala. Human beings are weak in samma ditti, or right view, sila, or morality, saddha, or faith, and indriya dharma, restraint of sense faculties. This would result in forming the characteristics and perceptions of beasts, murga sanya, in human beings. This state is clearly elaborated in suttas. Murga sanya is the effect of a cause, which is the lack of samma ditti, sila, and saddha. If an individual does not like a particular effect, he or she should be able to get rid of that particular cause. We are not in a position to get rid of an effect unless we deal with the relative cause. The other day, I noticed a paper article written about reinstating the capital punishment. This is the beginning of a new issue. In a society where morals have deteriorated due to the lack of sila, saddha, and samma ditti, measures taken to tackle a single problem would lead to another problem. A single problem is solved at the expense of another problem. If we reinstate the capital punishment as a punitive measure against these social issues, that would definitely aggravate this problem. Reinstatement of the capital punishment by hanging would be a basis for some persons to acquire a great deal of demerit. For instance, the judge who issues the death penalty commits a serious unwholesome act, equivalent to manslaughter. The president who confirms the death sentence commits a similar unwholesome act. The executioners, prison officials who were involved in carrying out the death penalty would also contribute to this unwholesome act. You will now notice how a single punitive action would lead to the accumulation of a lot of demerit. The solution to this form of perspective of Dhamma is to propagate aspect of merit in the society. Aspects of samma ditti, or right view, should be reinforced in the society for this purpose. We cannot find fault with any adverse situations taking place in the world in terms of the Dhamma. These situations are the reflections of human behavior. You may come across 100 murdered kids tomorrow somewhere. We cannot blame this incident in any way in terms of the Dhamma. This incident needs to be considered as a result of previous unwholesome karma on the part of these kids. The more unwholesome deeds occur in the society, the more pathetic it becomes. We experienced a 3-decade-long war in our country. This is a result of unwholesome karma committed by the masses of our country. This masses experienced a great deal of carnage and violence during this period. This situation instilled a sense of fear for death in masses. The fear for death made masses to concentrate on the aspect of merit. This concentration takes place without the concept of I. Masses deviate from the concept of I to we. Once they switch to the concept of we, they are tempted to engage in many meritorious deeds, such as Bodhi Puja and other offerings collectively to invoke blessings for themselves and soldiers at war. Those who have gone to the temple at Kalaniya or Bellanvilla would have witnessed how thousands of devotees engaged in Bodhi Pujas for the welfare of the country or military personnel. They even participated in blood donation campaigns. This is a result of shifting the concept of I towards a common identity of we. This is how the ego of people begins to change and thoughts of greed, lobha, begin to diminish. Lack of lobha thoughts would present dosa, aversion, thoughts from arising. As a result of witnessing dead bodies and carnage that took place during the 3-decade-long civil riots, masses began to form anicca sanya. They begin to contemplate how some invaluable lives were lost during this period, how some valuable properties were lost instantly. This shift in attitude in the society does not take place due to the religious reasons, but due to the fear of life. However, this contributes towards the development of wholesome aspects of the society as the masses begin to deviate from mentality filled with lobha, greed, dosa, aversion, and moha, delusion. The main force behind this phenomenon is the shift of attitude from I to we. This does not happen overnight. It would take a considerable period of time. On the strength of the wholesome aspect of the society, a right ruler will surface at the right time to save the country from these ill effects. This ruler will be able to solve all these problems on the strength of the merit-based social environment. Once these problems are solved by the new ruler, the society will reverse to the previous status of I from status of we. This happens due to the absence of fear of death anymore in the trouble-free society. People begin to lose touch with anicca sanya. Then they don't take part in religious activities to invoke blessings for the country or the soldiers. Even they don't visit Kalaniya and Billanvilla temple for these common religious purposes. They don't take part in blood donation campaigns. What we can witness at these temples is only the egocentric religious activities carried out of the benefit of my son, my daughter, my job, my wedding, and etc. This will result in aggravating Sakkaya Ditthi, personality view, in many. This, in turn, will instill aggravated lobha, dosa, and moha in them. People will act in terms of nicca sanya, perception of permanence, instead of practicing anicca sanya. They will indulge in sensual pleasures without any limit or fear. This will lead to a situation where people develop anicca sanya toward the pancha upadana kanda, 5 aggregates of clinging. As a result, the whole society will again be shrouded in an unwholesome state with lobha, dosa, and moha. This may happen in 5 years, 10 years, or may even take longer, The world has been experiencing a similar phenomenon between a war and peace alternatively, depending on the presence and absence of merit. May the triple gems bless you.